Hey guys, welcome to this channel. My name is Amanda. We make book content on this channel, and I hope that you guys would stay along for the journey. In today's video, we're going to be doing a recap on my January books that I read. Going to give you a little rating of each book, going to give you a little spiel about each book with no spoilers, and yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say, so let's just get right into this video. So the first book that I finished in 2025 is none other than Iron Flame. This was not the very first time that I was reading it. This was a reread because obviously I had to get ready for Onyx Storm, as did everybody else, because I honestly forgot a lot about this book when I was rereading it. I was texting one of my book besties and I was like, why do I not remember half of this information? Which is very vital information, but I had forgotten it. So I was like, we love that for me. To give Iron Flame a rating, I would like to first go back to when I first rated it, which I rated it a 4 out of 5 with my first read. I would have to give Iron Flame a 4.5 out of 5 for the second time around. And I think that has everything to do with the fact that there was something about reading this story as a reread that made me appreciate it a lot more. I was talking to the same book bestie that I just mentioned, where we were talking about how Rebecca Yarros loves to create books where half the time when we're reading it for the very first time, we have no idea what the heck is even going on in the story. And so I think that's why when I was reading Iron Flame for the second time, I had a better understanding of it because I knew a lot more of the characters, I knew a lot more of the dragons, I knew the bonds and the signets and the storylines and what's happening overall. And so I think that's why I enjoyed it a little bit more. And I think it was really cool also getting to look for certain clues and stuff that she likes to drop in there, because as we all know, she loves to slide a lot of things under the rug. I saw this interview where she was talking about how Violet's second signet was in Iron Flame again and again and again and again, and none of us picked it up. I don't actually think any of us, speaking about Onyx Storm, I don't think any of us actually picked up on what her second signet is. I don't think any of us did. I think we all theorized something else. But backtracking to Iron Flame, I think it was just really cool getting to then try to find out what her second signet was after her saying all this information of it's in here, you just have to find it, sort of thing. So I really enjoyed that. And I also really enjoyed just rereading both Xaden and Violet's love story. It's honestly probably one of my favorite love stories because I love me a good enemies to lovers. I love me a good bad boy. You know what I mean? So I just can't be wrong about wanting to relive their love story. But yeah, so I think I just genuinely really enjoyed this book a lot more on the second time around, which is why I have to give it a 4.5 out of 5. There's something about this series alone that I just love. It's one of my favorite fantasy series, so I cannot wait for the whole story to be done, to be honest. I'll be sad because there'll be no more books coming out in the series, but at least then I will know how it ends. Which, very ADHD of me, that's okay. That's okay. Anywho, that is my first read of January. And then for my second read of January, I read none other than King of Pride, which is the second standalone book in the series King of Sin. Now, the reason why I say standalone series is because you can easily read this book on its own, and you do not need the rest of the story or the first one to even understand what goes on in here, because this romance is one in its own. But why I love Anna Hong so much is because she does this sneaky thing where all of her books are in the same universe. And so you get a lot of the same character overlap in all of these books. That's why I love it. I love it so much. And the coolest part, since having started read this series, is Anna Hong in her other romance series, standalone series, which is the Twisted Love, Twisted Hate series, is a lot of those side one characters that you don't even think matter are the important characters in this series, which I love that. I love that so much. But aside from just loving that she just throws all of her books in one universe, I would have to give this book a 3.5 out of 5. And reason being is because we love a good romance, but I just think that like over all of the romance books that I've read better romance. But nevertheless, I still enjoyed this book. I literally did read it in like, I think like 2-3 days. Overall, I really enjoyed both main characters, Isabella and Kai's like development growth. I loved that Isabella was an aspiring artist. I loved the little like twist at the end about her family, and I loved him like pretty much like getting out of his shell. Like just kind of like opens up his eyes a little bit, and I love that a little bit. Honestly, Anna Hong is like one of my favorite writers. I think her writing is so easy to read, and the smut part of it too is great. So I love that also. But yeah, so overall, really enjoyed this book, and that is a wrap for the second book that I read in January. And for the third and final book that I read in January, I guess you guys could probably already guess what it is. I read none other than Onyx Storm. I currently don't have my copy with me because I lent it to a friend to read. So I won't go into the nitty-gritty of absolutely everything, but if you guys did want a more in-depth about my theories, my thoughts about Onyx Storm, I did post a video about that. I can never remember where it's on here, but it's going to be up here somewhere. So if you want more than just what I'm saying today, go click up there and watch that video. So I think I'd have to give Onyx Storm a rating of like 4.7 out of 5. I overall enjoyed this book a lot more because we got more than just what's going on in this world. We also saw like what's going on in the whole world. And I think that was really cool to see. And then also I just like loved the adventure and the romance and all that kind of stuff. I am pretty sad that we're going to have to wait 2 years, but that's okay. Rebecca can have her little time. She can write her little romance novels. And until then, I will be patiently waiting. But other than that, I think that's kind of what I'm going to get into. But again, if you guys want to go see more of my thoughts and my theories and more into just my mind, I do have the other video of Onyx Storm. With all that being said, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my January recaps. If you guys read any of these books, leave little comments down below, or if you guys think that you guys would want to read any of the books that I read, give it a little thumbs up. And also hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of me and more videos from me. But until then, I hope you guys read more books. I hope you guys get lost in those books because that is the best thing about reading. And until then, I will also get lost in books. And I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye guys.